I'll be going over 6 examples of how I use my strategy every single day in the markets. This is how I'm able to make money as well as pass prop firms, and I literally do the same thing over and over again. I'm not changing anything up. So again, you guys want to learn and really understand this strategy, pay attention to this video because I'm going to break it down step by step on 6 different examples, okay? Beside that though, before we get into the breakdown, I wasn't even supposed to get on today. It's a Saturday, but I just felt like I wanted to get on here to really help you guys out and hopefully get you guys in the right mindset to start off the new trading week. So again, I'm just doing this for you guys and I hope you guys enjoy the video. All right, I'll see you guys in the breakdown. Peace. All right, let's get into the breakdown of these 6 examples that I have for you guys. Again, please pay attention because this is literally all I'm doing in the markets. Again, I'm literally doing this every single day, and you're about to see on these 6 examples that I have for you guys is literally the same thing over and over again. Okay, so first things first, I'm on the 1 hour time frame. I don't care about what's happening over here. Okay, we are only focusing on the current 1 hour candle and what's happening around that 1 hour candle. So I'm looking at this 1 hour candle and this area over here. I see that we have a resistance sitting somewhere up here, and then we also have a support sitting somewhere down here. So boom. Now a lot of you guys may be asking, what if the zone look too small? It doesn't matter, as long as you have a clean range. It don't matter how big or small the zone is, just make your range and tell yourself that this is the range that I'm not trading in, and all I'm waiting on is closure to the upside or to the downside. Okay, we're not guessing where price want to go, we're not guessing if price is going to do this or that. We're just literally waiting for price to show its hand, and once it shows its hand, we're going to wait for our entry to then execute our trade. It's really that simple. Once I find out, go down to the 30-minute time frame. 30-minute time frame. Yeah, I'm just adjust this a little bit here, and of course make this to the body just like that, so we have clean. Now this is a clean 30-minute range. Okay, cool. The 15-minute time frame is our entry, so we go down to the 15-minute and we literally just wait. You don't want to ever adjust on the 15-minute time frame, because when you adjust on the 15-minute, the zone become weaker. You want to focus on the 1 hour and the 30-minute. Okay, so all I'm doing now is I'm just waiting for a closure. Okay, no closures yet. Boom, we got a closure. So now price is literally telling us everything by just having a closure. It's telling us that we have buyers coming in. Okay, we're closing above the range, so expect price to continue to move up. Now your setup are not always going to play out, but by waiting for a confirmation, it's going to play out more often than not. So again, once we get that closure, I need to wait for the next candle to come down first, and then once I see it come down, I'll set buy stops up here and then wait to get entered into the trade. Now a lot of times you might see the candle might just start pushing up like this, which is fine. That means that that's just not your trade. You're not entering that trade, because 9 out of 10 times a candle needs to make a wick to the upside and to the downside. So if this candle starts pushing up and you guys have FOMO trying to get into a trade because you think you're about to miss it, 9 out of 10 times that candle's gonna look good for now, and then the next 5 minutes is gonna reverse. If you notice, this is how you have to read candles. Every single candle that you see, or almost 98% of these candles that you see, will have a top wick and a bottom wick. You can see all these candles are here. There's a top wick and a bottom wick. So ask yourself this: if this candle breaks without a bottom wick, what is most likely gonna happen? It's gonna come down to make that bottom wick, and a lot of times it might be a fake out to where it starts coming back into the range, and then you'll lose that trade. So why do I wait for the bottom wick to form if I'm trying to buy? Because we're already making sure that wick is formed. So if we do break, it has no business for it to come back down to make a bottom wick. You know what I mean? So once this candle closed, let's play this out. Boom. So this candle has a bottom wick. So you see how it came down, made that bottom wick, and then we did break these previous 15-minute high. So I would have been entered onto this trade. Again, your buy stops is not going to be on the wick of this previous 15-minute candle. It has to be like a tick above it. Okay, once you have that, your stops will be right a tick below the current 15-minute candle that gave you that entry, and then you could target your 1-to-1 or your 1-to-2. Now I do want to talk to you about that 1-to-2. Okay, so let's play this out and just look at how clean that played out. This trade went for almost a 1-to-4. Yeah, almost a 1-to-4. Now a lot of you guys, if you guys are holding for that 1-to-2, this is honestly my best practice, and I really think you guys should implement this. So let's just say, okay, cool. Let me just replay this. Okay, so let's just say you want to go for a 1-to-2. Okay, what I usually do, is I would mark a line at my 1-to-1. So this is my 1-to-1. And I'll do my 1-to-2 up here. Okay. So what you could do a lot of times is there's two things that you could do. Okay. If once it hits your 1-to-1, you could then move your stops to break even. Or once it hits your 1-to-1, okay, you could close half of your position and then move your stops to break even. So a lot of you guys say y'all go for 1-to-1, y'all usually see break even. Okay, cool. So if y'all want that 1-to-2, go have your lines marked up for that 1-to-1 and that 1-to-2. As it hits your 1-to-1, start managing your trade. You can either move your stops to break even and let your trade play out, or you can move your stops to break even, close half at that 1-to-1 and let the rest play out. So again, there's so many ways you can make money. You just have to really manage your trade. Okay, a lot of times the trade might just go to your 1-to-2 automatically, but a lot of times it won't. So if that's the case, manage your trade, try to make some profits, or even make your trade a break-even trade so that you don't lose anything. Move your stops to break even so that you are in a risk-free trade. It's really that simple. Okay, so that's the first example. Let's go on to the second example. This is on NAS 100. So again, same thing. I'm on the 1 hour time frame, and again, I'm not worried about anything that's happening here. I'm just worried about the most recent price action of this current 1 hour candle, and you just find your resistance and support. So this is my resistance right here, then this is my support. Cool. So now I'm just waiting on the 30-minute time frame to see if we need to adjust our ranges. So again, this level we can adjust it up to here. Okay, and then down here we'll adjust it down to here. So now boom, we have established our no trade range, which is in here. So we're not taking any trades and we're just waiting on a closure. Once I figure that out, down to the 15-minute time frame, and we just wait. It's literally just a waiting game. You can literally set your alerts. Like that's what I do almost all the time, is I'll set my alerts up here. So I'll have an alert somewhere here and I have an alert somewhere here. So when price do come to it, boom, I'm back on and I'm ready to take my trade if it presents itself. So let's play this out. Okay, cool. So look at this. We have a closure to the downside. Again, what did we do this whole time? We waited for price to tell us what it wants to do. Price closed below here, below our support, and then now we wait for our setup. So since we are selling, I need to wait for this next candle to make that top wick. As soon as I see a top wick being formed, I'm automatically setting sell stops right there, and hopefully it flips, gets us in that trade, and we're out. So let's play this out. You see how we came up with that small wick, which is fine because it really doesn't matter how big the wick is. When you have a small wick and it breaks right away, 9 out of 10 times there's just a lot of selling pressure or buying pressure to where price is just gonna push. So if I see that, as long as I see a wick, I'm setting my sell stops. So I'll set it one tick below that previous 15-minute candle, stops right above here, and just look at this trade. This trade literally went for, let's just play this out. Like, this is insane. If you were to have your stops there, or if you felt like your stops are really small and you don't like that, put your stops at the previous 15-minute candle. But for me, there's no reason for us to create a top wick, break the previous 15-minute low, and then come back up to re-break the top wick. It just doesn't make sense at all. So for me, I'm always keeping my stops at that 15-minute candle that gets us into that trade. And just look at how this trade played out. Like, this is just clean. This is very clean and it's very simple. We're just waiting, and we're just waiting for that confirmation. It's really that simple. So this was the NAS trade. You guys are seeing a pattern. It's literally the same thing over and over again. We're not changing anything. Now let's go down to gold futures. So this one's a little bit more complex because this one, the ranges are definitely going to be a little bit bigger, but it's fine. The range size doesn't matter. As long as you wait for your confirmation, that's what really matters. So I'm on the 1 hour time frame. This is where current candle's at. I see we have a support over here, and then I see we have a resistance somewhere sitting up here. So boom, now I'm just waiting. Well, actually before that, we go down to the 30-minute, of course. Okay, we'll adjust because you see how these candles are sticking outside of this 1 hour zone. We'll adjust it up to here, and then down here we have these candles sticking down here, so we'll adjust it over here. Okay, so now we have a 30-minute range. So we already established our range, and this is the range that we're not trading in. So what do? We just wait. Drop down to the 15-minute time frame, and let's just wait and see what price does. Okay, so look at this. So price, you see why we always wait for a closure? Because look at what this candle did over here. We came down, people are getting in off of a breakout just because it's breaking, and then it closed back up to here. So any given point, since now it's back into the range, it could have just bounced from here and started going up. But luckily this trade was going down. So for us, we're waiting for that closure, which we got this closure here. And what do I need to wait for? A top wick. As soon as I see that, setting sell stops and take the break. So let's play this out. See that top wick got created? I would have got in for sells. Once it breaks, stops right above that current 15-minute candle. And let's say we go for that 1 to 2. Like, just look at how clean this setup is. Like, this is literally all I'm doing. I'm literally just waiting for price to show me its hand, and once it shows me its hand, I'm executing on this trade. Again, if you guys are going for that 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, manage your risk, okay? If you are holding for 1 to 2, move your, as soon as it hit that 1 to 1, it has no business going back to your break, your stop loss. So if it's at that 1 to 1, move your stops to break even, make it a risk-free trade. Or you can move it to break even, close 50% of your position, let the rest run to that 1 to 2. Never be too greedy, get what the market is giving out to you, okay? So this is the trade on gold futures. Again, super simple. We're literally doing the same thing over and over again. So now we're on gold. This is Forex gold. On the 1 hour time frame, you can see that we have a resistance sitting somewhere up here. Okay, and then we also have a support down here. The reason why I have my support down here is because I'm not trying to trade anything in here. You can see what price has been doing. This is not a zone that I want to trade in. So once I figure that out, go down to the 30-minute time frame. I'll adjust if needed. So down here, right here, we need to adjust it down to here. And then up here, we need to adjust a little bit, somewhere like right there. So now we have established our no trade range. Go down to the 15-minute time frame, and all we doing is just waiting. It's really all a waiting game. This strategy requires you to wait, but once you wait and it gives you your confirmation, your trade is going to be a clean trade. So let's play this out. Okay, so we see we had a closure. We got a closure. So what do we wait for? That bottom wick to form. Once it forms that bottom wick, I'm setting buy stops. Hopefully it breaks and gives us that entry. And that's literally what happened. It broke, stops right below the current 15-minute candle, and this trade literally went for, again, we're not always gonna catch trades like a 1 to 8, 1 to 10, but again, this is just to show you guys that this strategy works. And as long as you wait and you pay attention to how price is moving, you're gonna catch clean setups. So you can at least, this trade went for a 1 to 15, which is unrealistic. We're not always going to catch a 1 to 15, or we're not going to always hold to 1 to 15, but this just to show you guys how powerful this type of setup is. So again, if you was going for your 1 to 2, you would have got in and out that trade instantly. And if you wanted to hold it a little bit more, cool, just move your stops to break even. So that's gold. Now let's go down to oil. So oil, these look a lot cleaner because the ranges, it's not too complex like how you see this over here, and it's like price is kind of all scattered. So let's go on to oil. What do we do on the 1 hour? We literally find our resistance, which is somewhere right here, and then we find our support, which is right here. 30-minute time frame. We can adjust this a little bit. Adjust this a little bit. Cool. Then 15-minute time frame, we just wait. We do not adjust anything right here because again, this is a 15-minute time frame. We don't care about that. So now let's play this out. So now look, you got a closure. Okay, we got a closure down here. What do we wait for? A top wick, set sell stops, and then wait for it to re-break the lows and get us into our trade. So let's play this out. That would have been my entry. You see that top wick, sell stops right below the previous 15-minute candle, stop above that current 15-minute candle, and this would have been our 1 to 2, and then this trade literally went for a 1 to 8, and it literally just kept falling. This is freaking insane, bro. Like this is how this strategy is so effective. Like you literally, I can't even explain it, bro. It's just really that good. And again, it's not always perfect like this. There's never anything perfect in trading, but you're gonna win a lot more than you lose by just trading this strategy. It's really effective when you actually wait and you wait for market to tell you what it wants to do. So this is on oil. Now let's go down to US 30. So US 30. Alright, so we start at the 1 hour time frame. Let's find our resistance, which I see a resistance sitting somewhere over here. So we have a resistance right here because we have a bullish candle and a bearish closure, which we have some kind of rejection there, which makes it a resistance. And then my support would be down here, because anything in here I'm not trying to trade, because you can see how price just moving up and down. So now let's get on to the 30-minute time frame. Our support, we don't need to, actually we could adjust it a little bit. Okay, we'll adjust that, and then our resistance, we'll adjust this up to here. So now we establish our no trade range, which is this area, and we literally just wait. So on the 15-minute time frame, just wait, see what price wants to do. Okay, so what did price do? Price closed to the upside above our support, above our resistance, which showing us that we have buying pressure coming in and we could potentially look for buys. But what do we wait for? That bottom wick. And then once we see that, we'll set buy stops for our entry and then let the trade play out. So let's play this out. So you see how we made a really small bottom wick, which is perfectly fine. As long as that bottom wick is formed, start setting your buy stops, okay? So buy stops above that previous 15-minute candle, stops below this current 15-minute candle, and if you go for that 1 to 2, it played out perfectly. It literally played out within that entry 15-minute candle. That's why I like this type of setup, because it's called the range momentum. So when you're in the trade, you're expecting momentum to push price to wherever you're trying to get out at. So let's play this out. And again, this trade went for a 1 to 6. I'm not sure if it still went up some more. It went for a 1 to 8, and it went up even more. Like, this is just crazy, bro. I really gotta start holding my trade a little bit longer. But look how powerful this setup is, or this strategy is. It's really that simple. We have not did anything different on these 6 examples. We literally find our resistance, we find our support, wait for closure, and then wait for our entry signal, and we're in the trade. So again, I hope you guys learned something from this. And if y'all have any questions, put a comment down below or follow me on Instagram and send me a message, because I will respond to you. And yeah, we'll go from there. But hopefully you guys have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.